Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again. And yes, it is this a Sunday morning. And this is where people get their message about God. And as I got up early this morning and decided to get me some oatmeal, I thought about the luckiest people in the world today. And I was reminded that they are those who are being buried, either in some grave or decided that they would have themselves burned. But they're disconnected from this world. They are not worrying about whether their rent is going to be paid. They're not worrying about the mortgage, and they're not worried about the electric bill or the water bill. They're not worrying about the prices of gas or the prices of food, or whether that food out on the seas will ever make it to port, to come to the homes. They are not worried about the politics of the day. They are not worried about the hatred and the racism and the bigotry. They are not worried about the lying and the cheating and the stealing and the killing. For them, they are free. And I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I can think of only one way that's better than that. And that is for the original plan. And that plan involved every last one of us, as every last one of us will die one day. That plan involved that every last one of us would not have to worry about the things that cause us pain and suffering. Food, clothing, shelter, education, health care, and whatever we can imagine in our minds. And amongst we the people having the capabilities to exercise and act with those imaginations that would allow us to create whatever. As our God created the universe, we ourselves can create based upon our imagination and the gifts that we have amongst us. We are not limited by anything. And yet, we bought into a lie. The same kind of lie that was broadcast to the world in 2020. A lie that was set in motion before 2020. A lie that's being continued. And if we don't stop it right now, will change America forever. And there's no way of just stopping it, leaving it in its tracks, because it will continue. The only way to stop it is to go back to where we come from. You know, when we look at our history, people tell stories in movies. They either lift stuff up, they tell you, they can embellish it sometimes, they want you to know something. And as we look back over our history, see, some of you are kind of young. And if you can go back and watch some of the movies and things, they will tell you what kind of people we're dealing with. They will tell you about people who spent their life killing, stealing, robbing, taking, manipulating. I mean, this is our history, and it is still happening. And the people of God are shut up in buildings, singing songs, calling this praise, and giving money so that they can feel like they're serving God. And they come back out here into this world and get trampled on every day. Yes, those who are being buried, are burned up, who are taken from this earth, are the most luckiest people today. But we can change it. We can change it, ladies and gentlemen. And here I am, after all of these years, talking to you about we can change it. And it hasn't changed. But when I wake up this morning and I look out in our community, and I think about the people who would want to start their car this morning, but the car won't start either because it's broken down and they don't have gas in it and no money to go get gas. That's hurt. Can you imagine yourself like that, ladies and gentlemen? Can you imagine yourself going in the kitchen looking for something to eat, and maybe you're lucky if you can find a can of sardines that came from the dollar store? Can you imagine what it's like to sit on the corner, on every corner, under every stop sign with a sign begging? Can you imagine? No, I don't even want you to imagine that, because that's pain. That's the kind of pain that makes me still, after 40 years of neglect, 40 years of just people just saying to hell with the idea, to hell with this vision. This vision says that it is wonderful. It is wonderful for each and every last one of you to say, never again. I don't have to kill my brother if all my needs are met. And my brother doesn't have to kill me if all his needs are met. And Russia or China or Africa or no other place in the world would have to fight amongst each other if all their needs were met. And can their needs ever be met when we are like dog eat dog, like we're in the wild wilderness, in the farthest parts away from humanity, where you just have to, the only way you live is by killing, eating your kill? That appears to be where we actually came from, and we're not too far from it today. But it's beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. It is beautiful to switch this thing around. I mean, actually beautiful. When natives and Africans and slaves and whatever else were put at the lowest end of the totem pole will stand up on their own. And those who were seeking power, who wanted to control, who were responsible for this godship over the world, all of this ugliness. But you, the people, woke up and you made the difference. And that is what I'm saying to you today, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, those people who are being buried today are separated from all of the troubles of the world. And what's going to happen to them beyond being covered, none of us know. But we do know what we are left with. And we know it's not going anywhere unless we change it. And we know that there are those who would change it to the worst, but it will be the best for them. But we, the people, can come together by the power of not their understanding, but the power of God's understanding, can draw it all together with one mind, and we can have heaven here on earth. What do I mean? Let me see, can I say this in a minute? What do I mean when I say heaven on earth? I mean that you don't have to worry about your needs, your wants, or your desires. They're all met. I mean that you play a part in the creative process of all of the goods and services, just your little part, but all of it collectively together presents an abundance that none of us will have to ever suffer a lack. And we enjoy doing it. And we don't have to lie, we don't have to cheat, we don't have to steal, we don't have to kill, there's no hatred, there's no racism, there's no bigotry. And we can enjoy living and be excited about dying, because we know there must be something even greater, and we are creators looking for creation. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for this moment in time. Until next, Eddie Marcus say goodbye.